Recently came across a video from This Old House about upgrading cabinet doors to be soft close, and in the process of watching their video and seeing how much money they spent per door and seeing how long it took them, it reminded me of the simple and inexpensive process that I went through to basically get the same exact performance with the hinges that I purchased. So today's video I'm going to show a little bit about how I did it, how much it cost me, and how simple of a project this can be and really inexpensive. There are a lot of hinges on the market, but they're pretty expensive and you have to put multiple on each door. They also take a lot more effort to install. An alternative is the soft close dampener, which only requires one per door, but they definitely have their own issues. This particular model doesn't get the best reviews. They cost about $2 per dampener, but there are others on the market like the ones that I'll show you that I use that are around $3 to $6 depending on how many you buy. This is the product I've used in my last two homes from a brand called Blum. I'll put a link below the video to where you can get these on Amazon. As you can see, 4.6 star reviews with over 1,200 total reviews. The dampener installs at the top of the cabinet and has a slow release piston which slows down the door as you close it. Each dampener comes with the 4 items you see in this image. For some applications you'll use the shorter screw and not the spacer on the bottom right, but in other cases you'll need to use the longer screw, the spacer, and the dampener. Here we are at a spot where I've previously installed this and I disconnected it to kind of show you what led to the decisions that I made. Typically what you want to do, you have these lips that go around the device. You want to push it all the way into the corner up, so putting pressure there and that way, and then kind of look at your clearance. So as you see, it's really close to the door already. I'm not a huge fan of that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add the included spacer. And there we go. It simply clips, and it also has a lip, as you can see. And then now it pushes it out a little bit further away, which then allows it to travel a lot further and make contact here on the door instead of right there. I think it's just a little bit better for my situation. Every situation is going to be a little bit different, but pretty straightforward. Because I'm using the spacer, I'll get the longer of the 2 screws, which in that case is this one here. And what you do is you push it all the way through. If you need to twist it a little bit, that's fine. But what you do is you get your screwdriver and you just twist it until it starts to make contact with the wood, and you give it a couple turns, and what that does is it'll then poke into the wood and create a mark. Again, this is a spot where I've already installed this, so you see the hole that I drilled, but it does, trust me, when you push this through, it'll stick through and make a mark, and then that tells you exactly where to drill your pilot hole. Definitely don't recommend just driving this directly straight in like this. You could splinter and break up some of the wood. Definitely get a drill bit and drill out a pilot hole. Found the old footage of when I drilled this hole out, but basically what you want to do is take your drill and kind of get up in that space. It's going to be a little bit tight. I'm actually even a little bit of an angle right here, but ultimately I was able to get in there good and then push up the unit up into the corner. And then the first little bit you drive with the screwdriver, but the last little bit's going to be pretty difficult, so you're probably going to want to drive that last little bit to get it tight with the drill. Okay, I was able to drive it pretty far, but there's still a little bit of looseness. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this into position, and I'm going to use my drill to push it the last little bit. Now you want to be careful not to go too crazy here, but this will allow you to definitely put a lot of pressure with the drill to get it to go the last little bit of distance. Now we can do a test close. As you can see, this is really a little too slow for my liking, so I'll show you how to adjust next. As everyone's cabinet doors will be different weights, it does provide an adjustment screw right here where you turn to left or right to change the tension on the piston. As you see right here, it's closing a little too quick for my liking, so I added some additional stiffness to it. Now it's closing much better. Here's an upper cabinet door. You can see that I got it just to my liking. Everyone's going to have different preference. I like to have a fair amount of stiffness because I have children in the home. That just avoids potential slam doors when they get angry. As you can see, pretty inexpensive and quick project. Something that is a pretty good affordable alternative to the more expensive options out there. And because we've used these for the last 10 years in our last 2 homes, we believe you'll find that they're very reliable and durable. If you've enjoyed this video, you may be interested in subscribing to our channel, DIY Around the Home, where we share videos on do-it-yourself fixes, appliance installation, car repairs, smart home technology, and just any other thing that happens around the home. Thanks.